Good afternoon. My name is Niu Han. I'm a writer-director based in Beijing, China, and it's a great honor to be here today with our project, A Most Peculiar Man. I have a background in fine arts before I moved into narrative cinema. And Most Peculiar Man is my second feature film. The story is about a man who mysteriously transforms into a geometric object for no particular reason. The idea came to me as a very simple thought that in this endlessly progressing society, what if a man decides to regress in the opposite direction, infinitely into a finite object? And is he still capable and worthy of love and empathy? And to what extent is his humanity retained? So that's where our story starts. The story is set in the late winter time, just days before people go off to their celebration for the Chinese New Year. Can we have the next slide, please? Our main character, Feng, is a newly published writer whose book is a part of this traveling motivational tour that travels around the provinces of China, giving people success speeches, telling them keys to making profit in business. And their tour is stationed in this hotel in the province, outside the outskirts of Beijing, in a hotel like this. And Feng is feeling intimidated by this upcoming daunting speech that he's supposed to perform to an audience of hundreds, much like now. And he starts to transform mysteriously. One day he just wakes up and feels angulated. And in this hotel, he also encounters this girl who is also leading a very chaotic kind of life. And they share some special moments together, and they find a brief opportunity presented to them where they can escape it all, but they miss the chance. And when the girl comes back to find Feng again, he has turned into this giant, like a shape, kind of like a bad Picasso painting, the Cubist painting, or less into a polyhedron kind of on stage, where people are leaving disappointed. The girl picks him up and trying to find a place for him to be. This is a story about human connection in search of meaning, and visually, I want the film to be almost a kind of haunting reverie that's set almost entirely within the confines of this hotel. Was very composed camera work and kind of hovering through these spaces of people. I work with a very small team, and my way of filmmaking is usually very organic and photographic. I want to utilize the handcrafted look in this film and not use any CGIs. Then I'll pass it on to my producer, and he can speak about it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shen Wei, the producer of Most Peculiar Man. Next slide, please. That is Beijing now. Outside Beijing, that's the capital steel factory, where our character Feng comes from. Here you can see that currently the Chinese society, there's a huge hybrid between the industry, the cold, rapidly developing society, and the tradition at the same time. Something about ourselves. Han and I first met 6 years ago on set of a blockbuster production. Personally, I come from a family of producers as well. However, we both decided to go on a more independent route ever since we started working by ourselves. And the Most Peculiar Man started developing in 2011, and the script was selected into Atelier du Cinéma Européen in Hong Kong 2013. And after that, Han went back to where his family is, New Zealand, to make his first feature, Land of Nobody. That film was supposed to be made a thesis film. However, Han on his own went way beyond expectation, and it ended up a feature. So A Most Peculiar Man is supposed to be the next feature film after Land of Nobody, and hopefully it is the first one with an actual funding. This story appeals to me. Like, as a producer, I found this project rather exciting because I see it more than just another film. It is, for me, more of an artwork because it provides such a refreshing view on Chinese society nowadays. And this sense of Kafkaesque absurdism intrudes this view on society, and it becomes a sense of disruption against the fiber of representation of our reality. And as a human story, I see it that dealing with a global concern, because in such a rapidly transforming society, transforming as our main character is, sometimes we feel ourselves hijacked by this mindset of climbing up the ladder of social hierarchy, just like where the successology comes from. And that is exactly what the West has experienced before, and it is what China is experiencing now. And in this case, is there a way out? Is there another option besides this cold but a fanatical social situation? That is the kind of existential problem that links us with the rest of the world. And as a new generation of Chinese filmmakers, we are really looking forward to getting made, and we wish to make a meaningful cinema to the global audiences and also for the local Chinese audiences as a whole. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm the co-writer. I am You. My name is You. Every time I have to tell people I am You, I feel strange, but I am. Our film, A Most Peculiar Man, I believe that everyone can feel I am you in some moments. Thank you.
Very nice. Anyone wants to ask them a question? Want to know more about the project? You've been working on this already for a while. You said you're not going to use CGI, so how are we going to see the transformation of this character?
We use quite an elaborate way of composing this deformation through a 3D scan or a detailed 3D construction of a human face. Then we'll flatten this construction and deform it in a computer, and we'll flatten this out in a paper craft way. So it's almost like a cardboard box. Basically, our man had turned into this empty paper hollow box. So then we'll flatten this out, then we'll cut it out as much of like a cut and paste arts and crafts paper scissors work. And we have a team of experts dedicated to doing this, and they get really good.
Great. Any other questions? You have already casted. Do you know who your protagonist is?
We still haven't started the casting, but I believe we want to work with some professional actors. We'll be approaching, I believe this is a very interesting project, so we'll be approaching some of the best acting talents we know in China, and we will be working with the local community. As we understand, and we usually work in this way, we want to bring in the local community to bring in real people and non-actors. We'll be working a lot with non-actors, but maintaining the level of performance was good professional actors.
Okay, so we wish you all the best to make a film with a little bit of a budget.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.